dripping head to toe. Never doubt the zone. Make you eat the crow. Laughing in your face. Laughing to the base. She can keep the push.
Viva Serbia! Viva Serbia! Jokic gets it done in Game 5. The Nuggets beat the Heat. They are now the NBA champions. Shout out to them. They take down the Heat in 5 games. Also on Sunday, Djokovic gets his 23rd major, the most all-time by a male tennis player, breaking the tie with Nadal. Shout out to Djokovic. In straight sets, it was never really in doubt, to be honest. It was never really in doubt. And on Saturday, Champions League Finals, City finally get it done. After years and years of spending money, they finally get it done. So shout out to them. Pep gets it done. Pep wins his first Champions League without Messi. Talking about GOAT. A lot of GOAT debates this weekend. You know, is Djokovic the greatest tennis player of all time? You know, probably. Is Pep the greatest coach of all time? You know, we'll talk about that. Haaland, can he potentially, you know, the way his career is looking, can he potentially one day be the GOAT or up there in top 5 player all time? Jokic, the trajectory he's been on the last 4 years, can he be maybe not the GOAT, but the best center of all time? Or even GOAT, man. He has 2 MVPs, 1 championship. He's 28 years old. But anyways, it was an exciting weekend of sports, culminating today with the Nuggets beating the Heat. So let's get right to it. Shout out to the Nuggets. Shout out to the Nuggets. They get it done. Honestly, as a Laker fan, as a fan of the NBA, this was one of the most bearable finals. Like I know there's a lot of people complaining that it was kind of like boring and it wasn't that exciting. I can see where people are coming from. There was a lot of gritty defense. There was a lot of stretches in the games where it was hard for both teams to score. And not just because the defense was amazing, but you know, if Jokic and Murray were hitting shots, then Michael Porter Jr. really struggled too. And you know, and for the Heat, if Jimmy wasn't really doing anything, their role players kind of didn't have the best series either. So there was times where, you know, they could go like 5-6 possessions without scoring. So I could see where people are coming from. But nonetheless, I think I don't have anything against the Heat and I don't have anything against the Nuggets. So ultimately, even though I was rooting for the Heat and I wanted Jimmy Butler to get his first title and really, you know, finish off this great storyline, this great Cinderella story, I don't mind the Nuggets winning like at all. Like I'm very happy for Jokic. He's a funny guy. Like his interview after the game is like, you know, the job is done. It's time to go home. And then in the press conference, they're trying to just get some, you know, sound bites from him saying like, oh, are you excited for the parade? And he looks to like his people over and he's like, oh, when's the parade? And they're like, Thursday. And he's like, man, I'm just trying to go home. I thought that was really funny. And they're like, Friday. He's like, okay, Friday. Yeah, we'll go home Friday. Man just wants to go back to Serbia and celebrate, man. ESPN did show some shots of people watching in Serbia. And I think they got to be like 9-10 hours ahead. So if it was 8, it was like probably like 5-6 in the morning when the game was going on. So them Serbian people, they stayed up to watch. So I'm sure they're going to greet him amazing. Like some of the comments on the post I saw on social media was, who cares about the parade, man? He has a whole country waiting for him. 5 million people, I believe, live in Serbia, are going to be waiting for him. But yeah, just a great weekend for Serbian people with Djokovic too. We'll get into that. But for the Heat, I think, obviously they don't want to hear it right now. They just lost the finals. But, I mean, they had a great season. Cinderella story. Like, all these undrafted players. Tyler Hero was hurt. Jimmy Butler's great, but he got hurt. He turned his ankle. Can he be the one on the team that wins it? I mean, I think he could be. Like, twice he's been to the finals. And, like, I don't think, like, if you add someone that's a little bit less good than Jimmy Butler, can they still get it done? I think maybe so. Like, if he would have had a running mate, like a legit running mate, I think they could have won it. But I think to make it more secure, I think you do need someone better than Jimmy Butler. I don't know. I think prisoner of the moment. Like, I do think they need a better surrounding cast, and Jimmy Butler probably could be the best player on a championship team. but he's only getting older. I believe he was like 32 now, so this might have been their best chance. But overall, the Heat definitely, like, I know there's only one winner at the end of the season. If you're not hoisting the Bill O'Brien trophy at the end of the year, then there's no moral victories. Like, no one remembers second place. I get all those sayings, like, but they did have a great season and they definitely overachieved. So I think they could look back after a couple weeks or months or however long it takes to, get over the loss. I think they could look back at this year and we're like, damn, we killed it. Like, look at these rosters. Like, a lot of these, I'm rooting for all these undrafted players, but it's not out of the question that some of these guys in a year or two they could be forgotten about. Like, it'll just be like, remember that one guy, Strus, that had a good postseason run and they made the finals? Like, dude, he's out the league already or something. But yeah, man, as far as the Nuggets, like, their team is young. I don't know with the new CBA rules and the contracts. I'm not 100% sure. I do think they have Jokic and Murray locked up, so they got their core. But I'm happy for Jokic. Like I said, he seems like a down to earth guy. He looks like he treats his job like a 9 to 5. Like, just gonna go in there, and like I will say, he had his historic playoff run. Like, this man Jokic was balling, like 28, 10, and 10, like triple double. Like, if he scored under 30 or he didn't get 10 assists in a game, you'd be like surprised. Like, it was like a bad game for him this playoffs. Like, if he scored under 25, like if he only gave you 24 and like 10 assists, you'd be like, okay, it was an okay game, which is crazy because those are kind of his averages during the regular season. But this man Jokic just took it to the next level. And his offensive game, like, it was scary, you're not gonna lie. Every time Jokic got the ball, especially with teams being so small nowadays, like, Bam Adebayo is a center and he looked tiny compared to Jokic. Like, and he's muscular too. He's built strong. He's not no weakling, and it just looked like Jokic could back him down like whenever and just use his size. Like, it's scary to just see Jokic backing your small undersized center down. Like, that's not a pretty sight. And the worst part is he's 7 feet tall, and if you send a second person, he has like a 360 vision. He's gonna see where the help is coming. He's gonna pass it out to the correct guy. Like, this man's insane. On offense, he's like a cheat code. On defense, I could say that he's gotten better. Like, I don't think he's ever gonna have the fastest feet in the NBA. He's never gonna be able to shuffle his feet like at elite level. But he's gotten better. He has his lateral movement is better. I think I saw him draw a couple charges this playoff run. I also think he's being a little smarter. He's being a little more savvy now that he's getting a little older. He does flop a little bit. Like, people have said Jokic spends a lot of time on the floor for a center, but he's smart. Well, that's one of the things I like about the Heat. Like, people might find it annoying, but I actually enjoy watching Kyle Lowry play. Like, he's definitely declined. He's 37 years old. He's old, but sometimes he misses a three, like the whole rim. It just hits backboard. But this man will not stop shooting, and like he's very aware of the moments. So I appreciate. I'm sidetracking, but I appreciate Kyle Lowry. I can't even deny it. Like, I like how he plays. I like his I don't give a fuck mentality. Like, fuck it, pull it from this three. Like, he's definitely had some good moments in his career. I hope he keeps playing like another year or two. But back to Jokic, like, yeah, that man's crazy. But on defense, he shuffles his feet a little better, and he kind of has a quicker hand now. Like, even on Game 5, I think he got a steal off of, I think it was Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler. I'm pretty sure it's Kyle Lowry, though. Kyle Lowry, like, attacked the paint, and then he kind of got stuck, and Jokic just swatted it. I think it was at the end of the third. They had, like, two back-to-back turnovers. But, yeah, Jokic got him better in defense. He's amazing in offense. He took his offense to another level in the playoffs. Murray, after 2 injuries, it looks like his arrow is pointing all the way up. I expect, All-Star game next year, barring no injuries. Hopefully he can stay healthy, knock on wood. And, yeah, like his name is going to, be recognized everywhere now that he's a champion. He's definitely going to get more fan votes next year. He should be a first-time All-Star next year. And that pick and roll game, like, if you have Jokic, if you have Murray, like, that offense is going to be nice. And then you add Michael Porter Jr. We'll see if he grows into his role or if they move him. He might have bigger aspirations. Like, I know he was highly recruited out of college. Everybody was hyping him up. And then his back problems kind of brought his value down. He fell down the draft, and it's kind of slowed his ascension in the NBA. But I see potential. I mean, today he looked a little more aggressive, but his three just was not there the whole series. But I could see him. He does look like a guy that could one day be like, you know what, like I want to go to a team where I could at least be the number 2. Because it looks like, Jokic and Murray, they got those 2 positions locked up. Like, they're going to be the 1 and 2 for the next 5 to 8, 10 years. And Michael Porter Jr., I think, just from the way he shoots, the way he shoots, like, he's never seen a shot he doesn't like. Just, the mentality that comes with that, I think he would have, like, bigger aspirations than just being the 3rd guy, even though he already won a championship. So I think now that he has a chip, it'll be easier for him to be like, you know what, I have a chip as the 3rd guy, as 3rd, 4th guy. Like, I want to go to a team where I could be the number 1 or the number 2. We'll see. I'm speculating, but I could see that happening in the next year or 2. And it just looks like they have, like, right now it looks like their front office is hitting on, like, these free agents and bringing in rookies that could make real impact, like their year 1. So the Nuggets are here to stay. Mike Malone, even in the presentation of the trophy, he said, like, hey, we want another one. We're not done. Like, man was hyped. And I mean, the Nuggets are scary, not gonna lie. The Nuggets are scary. They swept my Lakers. They take care of the Heat in 5. Gentlemen's sweep. I will say this before I talk about Djokovic. I don't like how they give the trophy to the owners. I think the NFL does that too. And I just don't like that. Like, the whole year, we never talk to the owner. We never see him. We never see the owners the whole year. And then in the trophy presentation, we see. I know they pay the bills and they sign all the checks, but come on, like, let the players, like, we should let the players raise the trophy, and then I don't know. There should be a better process. Like, maybe let the players raise the Bill O'Brien, and then right as you're going to present the finals MVP, maybe then, bring in the coach and bring in the owner and then present it. I don't know. There has to be a better way than the first moment we see with the trophy is with the owner. I don't know. I just don't like that. It feels, I don't know. It feels like we're here to see the players and the coach. Like, I don't know. It feels off. I don't have the correct order on how it has to be. All I know is that this order feels a little off. Like, why is it the owner? Someone explain to me why. I mean, I get that they own the team, but it's no one's here to see the owner. Like, no one even cares of what the owner has to say, like, or wants to see him raise the trophy. Like, do that at the end or something. I don't know. Someone give me an idea on how that could be fixed. But congratulations to the Nuggets. Congratulations to Jokic. Especially because Jokic had a lot of heat going into these playoffs about how, getting swept, losing in the first round. Like, I remember a couple years ago, he got ejected in the elimination game against the Suns. I believe he, like, swiped his arm and he hit Chris Paul in the head or something like that. And I mean, even I was like, it kind of looked like he wanted to get ejected. I may have, spread that storyline, spread that angle. So my bad, Jokic. You're a dog. You proved everyone wrong, including myself, these playoffs. And I'm happy for you. And I can't wait to see you duke it out with the rest of the guys to see who's the best guy in the NBA now. But as of right now, I think Jokic has cemented himself as the best player in the NBA. But on another note, Djokovic wins Roland Garros 2023, defeating Casper Ruud in straight sets. Shout out to Djokovic. He wins his 3rd Roland Garros, first player to win all 4 slams 3 times in the male side. 23 majors, most of all time, surpassing Nadal, which he was tied with at 22. It's crazy that he did it at Roland Garros, the house that Nadal built. Like, it's crazy how sports work out, And then last year Nadal got his 21st and Australian Open, where Djokovic is that's his fortress, that's his kingdom. So sports just write these storylines. It's crazy how sports work, but just want to congratulate Djokovic. He played a flawless tournament when it mattered the most on these tie breaks. I think he had like zero unforced errors throughout the whole tournament in those tie breaks and like in pressure moments. Something crazy like that. I saw it on Twitter. But Djokovic, oh man. For me, I'm a Nadal fan. I've said this before. Like, that's my GOAT. Like, I like what Nadal stands for. I like how he talks. I'm Hispanic, so they colonized us. And I'm just playing, but I know Spanish. I seen him at Indian Wells in the practice courts, and we didn't talk or anything, but I said something in Spanish and he responded. Not that he even looked at me or anything, he just responded, and it was kind of cool. Anyways, I like for me, Nadal is my GOAT, but I see where people are. The tennis GOAT right now would probably have to be Djokovic. Like, it's pretty much undeniable. Like, most weeks at number one, most majors, winning percentage head to head against Federer and Nadal, most year ends title, ATP finals, championships. There's probably other stuff, but first, like I said, first male player to win all three of the slams, all four of the slams 3 times. Like, the numbers back it up. If my boy Nadal would have stayed healthy, maybe he could have had better numbers. But as far as the numbers go, Djokovic, there's no denying it. Djokovic is out of this world. And the crazy thing is, he just turned 36, I believe, and he does not look like he's slowing down. Like, I mean, Casper Ruud, people call him like, a 250 merchant, stuff like that. But he made it to the Roland Garros final last year. He made it to the final this year. He made it to the U.S. Open final. He's gotten to important finals. He's a good player. He's not everyone's cup of tea. He might not be the most exciting player, but he's a good player. Djokovic beats him in straight sets. It only really looked dangerous in the first set when he was down a break. And then Djokovic, hunkered down and was able to kind of steal that set. And then second set was kind of easy for him. Third set, they held serve for the longest, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then he just closed it out, broke at 5-5. It never really looked like it was in doubt, to be honest. It was early in the morning here in San Francisco, so I was watching it and I was waiting to like fully wake up to see if I was waiting for Ruud to like make a push and make a run to like fully like give it 100% attention, because it was early in the morning. I was catching some Z's and watching it, and like there were some good plays where I was like, okay, I'm up, and then I'll be like, man, Djokovic got this, and I'll kind of like doze off a little bit, and I'll kind of keep my ears peeped up, hearing for a cue from the announcers, like, oh, Ruud, here comes Ruud, and Ruud makes his move or something like that. And I never really heard anything, so I did watch the whole match, like here, like obviously early in the morning, kind of like squinting, dozing off, watching it. But I did watch the whole game, and it never really looked in danger. Djokovic was on one, and now he has Australian Open and the Roland Garros. Wimbledon's coming up. He did say that that's going to be the only tournament he plays this grass season, so we'll see how he does. I mean, I don't think this man needs a warm-up to Wimbledon. Like, his warm-up to Roland Garros was terrible. He was not having a good clay season, and he ends up winning Roland Garros. So by no means do I think, there's no way that he doesn't come to Wimbledon and is not prepared. Like, he should be the favorite. And we'll see if the field could stop Djokovic, because Nadal is not there. He's pretty much done till 2024. We'll see if he comes back maybe at the end of this year for the Davis Cup. But anyways, shout out to Djokovic, the pride and glory of Serbia. Even Jokic just said it, that he pales in comparison as far as like what he represents to the Serbian people. Like, they've been talking about each other in the lead up to Roland Garros final and Jokic playing in the NBA finals. They have a lot of respect for each other, and it's crazy. Serbia is a small country, and they have two of the best athletes in the world right now, and of all time too. Like Jokic is quickly moving the all-time ranks. Djokovic is almost undoubtedly going to end up as the GOAT of tennis, and it's crazy. It's crazy, unprecedented times. Um, Another thing that comes to my head is like Djokovic, like all these greats that we are so blessed to be watching during this time, like Djokovic, Messi, Ronaldo, Brady, who was in Djokovic box on Sunday, which was kind of random. Like it's one of those crossovers that you don't really expect. Like who like how did that happen? Like no one. I mean, I've never seen Djokovic and Brady be friends, so that was a little weird. But again, to my point, like we're so blessed to be in this era where we got to see Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Messi, Ronaldo, Brady, LeBron, the late Kobe Bryant, like Curry, like we're Floyd Mayweather. There's just so many all-time greats like Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, Serena Williams. There's just so many good players in this era, like these last 10, 15 years that we got to see. Tiger Woods, like so many good players, and a lot of them are retiring. Serena retired last year. Federer retired last year. Nadal, it looks like he's coming down to the end. LeBron, he's still going strong, but we see that light at the end of his career. It's sad. Phelps retired, Bolt retired. Brady retired. It's a sad. We're almost done. Messi and Ronaldo. Messi going to Inter Miami. Like, rivalries are fun, and it's fun to pick a side, and you could spend hours and hours at a sports bar just debating with your homies. You could spend hours watching sports, debating on the couch, and that's how you pass time. That's a lot of memories that I have with my friends, just watching sports and debating. Like, nah, Ronaldo's the GOAT, nah, Messi's the GOAT, and growing up, I was a Kobe fan. Now I appreciate LeBron, and what I'm trying to get at is that basically as of late, I think I've been more appreciative of the greats. Like I gotta just now that I'm seeing their careers come to the end, I'm like, man, it's really coming to an end. So yeah, with that I say I'm gonna try to get tickets to see Messi now that he's in the US. But long-winded response. Congratulations to Djokovic. He's your 2023 Roland Garros champions. He gets to 23 majors, unprecedented stuff. It was also great to see all the tennis community, just show him some love. And we'll see how Wimbledon plays out. Kyrgios should be coming back, so we'll see if he has anything to say. And there's still a lot of people out there that are trying to get their first slam. I'm looking at Tsitsipas. I'm looking at Zverev, who looked like he's gaining form. My boy Fritz, my boy Tiafo. It's gonna be fun. We're heading towards a good time of the year for tennis. And finally, to wrap it up, City finally get it done. They finally get it done. They beat Inter. And what I must say was, I don't want to offend anyone, but I think it was a very lackluster final. Like there was not too many goal scoring opportunities. I think the pace of the game was kind of slow. I think City could have done more to propose the game. They could have they never really let loose, which is crazy because they still won. But I expected more of an onslaught from City. I expected Inter's goalkeeper to be more of a hero. I expected the City to have more chances. So the fact that they didn't do that and they still won, shout out to Rodri for scoring the game-winning goal and securing the victory for City. So shout out to them. City finally get the monkey off their back. No one could deny the crazy run that City's been on. It's it's nothing like we've seen before. Like this is crazy. Like they really like just be like 90 plus points a season is like the standard for them now. Winning the league. I know obviously they're gonna enjoy it every year, but it's kind of like starting to lose its allure because like they do it every year. Like they are expected to win the Premier League every year. Like they're the favorites every year. And you see, Liverpool come and go. They kind of fell off this year. We'll see if they're able to bounce back. We see Chelsea go from like winning Champions League to like they're lost. they're lost. They have no direction right now. We'll see if Chelsea is able to turn around. Arsenal, they haven't really. This is the first year that they're really were in the title race, and then they fumbled it. Tottenham hasn't been able to win anything in forever. Like it's crazy. Like all these teams just keep United. Like we don't even have to talk about United. Like they won one trophy this year, but like in the league, they've been struggling since Sir Alex left. So you gotta, it's easy to hate on City. I know there's a lot of people that don't root for City and like are happy when City loses. Me being one of them, but they got the monkey off their back, and we'll see how historic this run could really be. I did hear that Pep is leaving after his last 2 years expire. So we'll see if, they're able to go back to back or maybe get another one in this next 2 years. Hopefully not. As a Madrid fan, Mbappe news kind of broke today that he's trying to leave. Maybe Real Madrid get him and, they could be the main rivals for City, the main defense, the main challenge for City to repeat. But overall, as far as the game went on Saturday, my boy Lukaku, I called him the X Factor. He came off the bench. It looked like Setko got picked up an injury, and Lukaku came in. And not gonna lie, my boy was looking a little heavier than I anticipated. But like Lukaku does, he's a menace. He always seems to at least get one chance. And boy, did he have a chance! He had a chance. Open goal. It looked like basically open goal, clean header, and he heads it right towards Ederson. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, just finish this. Tie the game. Send it to overtime. Make City win it. Like, for reals, make City win it. Like, come on. And he misses a wide open chance. And I forgot who they were playing in the World Cup where he missed a lot of chances too. It might have been Japan, if I remember correctly. But oh my God, when he missed that, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then to make it worse, he also blocked a potential goal from the line. Like he didn't move out of the way. And oh my God, Lukaku, you let me down so hard. But I think Inter was overmatched. Like I said in the previous episode, I would be ecstatic if Inter got to halftime 0-0, and they did. So I was happy. I was like, they might be able to do this. They might be able to hold on. And they got outdid by Rodri. But kind of like what I said about the Heat, I think Inter, after looking back on this season, no one really expected them to make it to the Champions League final. So I think they could look back at this season and be like, oh, it's a good building block. We'll see what they do. Lukaku, it didn't look like, I think the manager or like the GM of Inter was like, well, Lukaku is the Chelsea player, so I mean, if he'll have to decide what happens, or they'll have to decide what they do with him. It kind of felt like he was ready to kick Lukaku out of Inter, and I mean, I don't blame him. Like, you stop a potential goal on the line, and then you miss the most clear chance of the whole game, and it's like, bro. Like, come on. I don't know where Lukaku's going to play next year. I could almost guarantee it he's not going to be at Chelsea, but I could also almost guarantee that Inter don't want him back. So we'll see. But, one thing I did want to touch on was Pep the GOAT? I know there's a lot of images, there's a lot of edits. ESPN is pushing that. Is Pep the GOAT? I mean, I don't know. He has had stacked teams everywhere he goes, but you can't deny that the system that he brings and the football that he brings is effective. But it took him 13 years to get the Champions League again with all the great teams he's managed. I think that's the one thing that you could hold against him, that he's had elite teams. He's taken over for a treble-winning Bayern and wasn't able to get a Champions League in his 2-3 years that he was there. His city team has been like the favorite in every tie that they've been eliminated in leading up to this one. But all of that could be forgotten. Like I said, this Champions League already has people calling him the GOAT coach. I don't think he is just yet. It is a trouble. He did get the FA, the league, and the Champions League, so that does mean a lot. But in my opinion, he's still, if he gets another Champions League and keeps collecting Premier Leagues like they're just tokens, then I think we have the conversation. But I do think he's on the verge of retiring. There's nothing more he could do. I don't think the couple ticks that he needs to tick are get another Champions League to really push himself to be the GOAT. Maybe coach a national team. That'd be kind of cool to see him do that. We'll see how he does with the national team. I do want to see him coach a team that doesn't have a crazy budget or isn't regarded as the best team in the league at the time, to see how he would manage that team. Like if Pep were to coach Tottenham, how good would Tottenham be? Or if he was to coach let's say if he would have picked up United on some crazy shit, if he would have picked up United when they were struggling, would he have been able to turn United around? Or if you take him to a good team like Atletico, people hold Pep in way higher regard than Diego Simeone, but those are the questions I ask. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think he's ever gonna go to a team that's not regarded as the best team in the league that they play in, especially with all the success he's had already. But it would be nice to see, just to get these hypotheticals out of the way, because people mention Mourinho. I'm a Mourinho fan. I love Mourinho, so that's one of the things that come to my mind. The Champions Leagues that Mourinho have, if there's different weights to them, I think they hold a little bit more weight. The Inter Champions League, the Porto Champions League, I think those hold more weight than the ones Pep has. But at that point, you're just you're picking what you like. Obviously, all these coaches are elite, and there's no denying that Pep is a good coach. And like I said, I don't root for City. I actually root against them. But I can still congratulate them on finally getting that monkey off their back. But that should do it for this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. Thank you if you made it to the end, and I hope you guys listen to the next one. Have a good rest of your day.
When I slide, no sudden moves. On my goons are stretching. And I'm taxing for the feet. On my damn